World War I. More than 60,000 Australian service personnel of the 1st Australian Imperial Force did not return home to Australia. They were killed during the fighting or died of sickness or other misfortune while on service overseas. The majority of their graves can be found in Europe and the Middle East. In the years immediately following World War I, the families of those who had died and were buried overseas were sent a form from the Imperial War Graves Commission. On this form, they were invited to draft an inscription, an epitaph, to be etched in the permanent headstone that would be erected at the gravesite to honour their loved one. Tens of thousands of families were faced with this task, and a task that came with parameters. The maximum number of letters, including spaces, was 66. To put this into perspective, that is less than half a tweet. In less than half a tweet, they had an immense emotional hurdle and intellectual challenge to meet, summarising the love, loss and pain into 66 characters for a headstone in a faraway place that they would, in all likelihood, never see for themselves. For some, the task was too much. It is reported that more than 1/3 of families, when given the opportunity, could not or would not craft an epitaph. Their loss too great to be reduced to a mere 66 characters. For others, the fact that there would be a cost of 3.5 pence per letter was another hurdle, although the charge appears not to have been enforced. And then we cannot forget those who were never sent a form, because their loved one could not or had not been identified. The missing in action tag still attached to their file. During this time, the First World War Mothers and Widows Badge was promulgated under Military Order 64. The badges were suspended from a white metal bar and bore laurel leaves. Stars were added to the bottom of each bar, indicating the death of one person. It is with this historical information that the installation titled The Unknown Widow has been developed, inspired when learning about the constraints imposed upon one grieving family from Melbourne in remembering their loved one, William Montgomery Jr., killed in action on the 5th of October 1918. And I learnt of this when I participated in ANBAM's Veterans Public Arts Trail last year during FOVA 24. The epitaphs have been selected from AIF members across all ranks, campaigns, cemeteries and ages. To be honest, it was actually hard to only choose 66, and it was with sadness that I decided on the final epitaph. The epitaphs have then been embroidered onto handkerchiefs. And why have I embroidered onto the handkerchief? The post-World War I period was a time when so many were experiencing loss in their families and local communities, but still had to get on with the day's chores. The handkerchief is an item that all dealing with their own grief would have carried and held tightly. One can imagine the emotions and challenges that a family member would have experienced while wringing their handkerchief with grief or crying softly into it at night when all the chores were done and one could steal some alone time. An everyday item exposed to and carrying the heaviest weight of all, the tears shed for the lost dreams and the broken hearts. I want these embroidered pieces to serve as poignant artefacts, each one a tribute to the lives and legacies of all Australian service personnel who have died during or as a result of their service, and to their families. The embroidered handkerchiefs feature elements from the First World War Mothers and Widows Badge, the laurel leaves and the star. Thus connecting to the concept of the unknown widow, the design serves as a tribute not only to the specific individual represented by the badge, but also to the broader community of war widows, with a shared experience of loss and remembrance, including those whose stories may remain unknown or untold. There are 66 handkerchiefs, however only one has the symbolic elements from the First World War Mothers and Widows Badge. This is to honour those who could not or would not find the words to be submitted on the Imperial War Graves Commission's form. And there is another handkerchief that is completely void of embroidery. This is to honour those whose loved ones were never identified. MIA, eternally stamped on their file. When putting this exhibition together, I wrote out by hand in capital letters each of the inscriptions. I imagined myself sitting at the kitchen table late at night, a small quiet space, lit by an oil lamp, lamenting over the use and restriction of 66 characters. If presented with this form, could I, or would I, be able to summarise such fraught feelings? The thread of time does not make this question any easier to answer. Collectively, the epitaph serves both a personal expression of respect and sorrow and a sweeping national outpouring of emotion. As described by prominent historian John Laffin, they are, in essence, a form of Australian literature where duty, heroism, bravery, glory, and service in the noble cause are the principal themes in many inscriptions. I invite you to become the unknown widow when you engage with the installation. Pick up the handkerchief from the washing basket, hang it on the line, read the inscription, sit with it. It holds a quiet significance, deserving of your attention. Or take the hanky down, now dried and ready to catch the tears of the unknown widow. Fold it and gently lay a family's sorrow in the safety and familiarity of a pile of clean washing. I hope that this exhibition invites communities to engage in conversations about the enduring impact of military life on individuals and families. The humble handkerchief serving as a poignant reminder for all service personnel and their families to the sacrifices they have made and will continue to make. Bringing these threads together for the greatest honour, remembrance. Thank you.
Nights are growing very lonely. Days are very long. I'm a growing weary only, listening for your song. Old remembrances are thronging through my memories, thronging till it seems the world is full of dreams just to call you back to me.